I know you're out there. I can feel you now. I know that you're afraid. You're afraid of us. You're afraid of change. I don't know the future. I didn't come here to tell you how this is going to end. I came here to tell you how it's going to begin. I'm going to hang up this phone, and then I'm going to show these people what you don't want them to see. I'm going to show them a world without you. A world without rules and controls, without borders or boundaries. A world where anything is possible. Where we go from there is a choice I leave to you.
What up? Let me get my sound check in, y'all. Make sure my sound is going okay. Sorry this came up. It came up a little, you know, a little inconspicuous. I go ahead and deal with it. So, the title of the show is that Ty Data, the sideboard, is going to be converting Black Jesus into the Aboriginal culture. Now we are live streaming simultaneously for with 3 different channels. We are simultaneously on Vortex Media, Chief Holiday, and also Black Jesus Radio on Facebook. Let me go ahead and get a sound check with Black Jesus, and I'm going to talk about it a little bit. Then we're going to go in. Black Jesus, you in the room, fam? Sir?
Yes, I am, brother. Can you hear me okay?
Okay, yeah. So I believe everybody hear you okay.
All right.
So I'm going to go ahead and introduce myself. Yeah, I'm going to go ahead and introduce myself.
Before you do that, brother Ty Data, I can see you on the YouTube channel, right? On YouTube. But when I go to the Google Hangout screen, all I see is your icon on the screen. So is there a reason why I'm not seeing anything there?
Yeah, because I'm not on Google Hangout. I'm live streaming through some software. And so
okay. So we'll come here later then, right? We'll come back here later.
Right. So what you want to do is you want to listen to me on Google Hangout, and then when you're ready, you want to live stream from your Facebook, don't listen to that version. Only listen to the Google version, because the Google version is live happening right now. The Facebook version there's a delay.
Okay. All right, brother. Go ahead and do your thing, brother.
Okay. So I guess I got a call from Black Jesus. Black Jesus is a good guy. Helped him. Helped him try to help some of his people with some phone problems, and he deep into into his philosophy, and he started asking me about some Aboriginal questions. And so we disagreed on some stuff, but me personally, I believe he misinformed. So today I am here to convert him. And so and so from now on, he'll be an Aborigine from now on. Now, if for the people who don't know me, my name is Ty Data, aka the Cyborg. I'm here for computer. So Black Jesus is fully aware who he's talking to. He's fully aware that I am not responsible for any suicides, any heart attacks, or any anger. He's fully aware of that. And so me, I'm part of the Aboriginal movement. My job is to make sure that people, other countries recognize us as the Aborigine people of this country. And that's my job. And so now we're also going to convert Black Jesus, and then we're going to give him his name, and we're going to give him his title, and we're also going to give him his task for our movement. And so go ahead, Black Jesus. Go ahead and let me see. Yeah, go ahead, Black Jesus, and say your intro, and then we can go ahead and get it in. And
All
if you
right,
can show
well,
yourself,
dear brother.
if you can show yourself, that'll be perfectly fine, because that's one of the main parts of my argument as well. If you can show yourself, please.
Absolutely, dear brother. Let me pull that up real quick. Greetings again to everybody. This is your boy, Black Jesus Minister. I'm about to find my. Let me get there and go there to the Google Hangout. Okay. Now, brother Ty Data, for some reason. Okay, let me see. All right, let me pull my video up. There it is. Okay, my video is coming on. All right, brother. Can you see it, brother? I'm on Google Hangout,
Here
and
we
my
go.
video is up.
Every bit of an Aboriginal, right there.
Can you hear me, brother?
Yes, I see you, sir.
Can you see
I
me?
see you, sir. I want to say peace to the
Look
chat.
here, brother.
We got Nonetheless in the building, Chief Holiday in the building, Carl Victor in the building. We got Aboriginal Power 2 in the building. So peace to the chat. Much love for the energy. Let's go ahead and get it in, Black Jesus. Sorry.
Look here, brother. Don't let this brown, this pygmy twa, African pygmy twa, African Khoisan brown skin fool you, brother. Don't let it fool you. Look here, brother. My hair is nappy and happy African, dear brother, and this brown skin comes from from the origins of Africa, my brother. So there's no confusion over here. As I look at myself in the little B screen in the corner of this Google Hangout, I'm looking at a mirror. There's no confusion going on over here. You are looking at a black man, and when everyone else in the world looks at me, especially our white brothers and sisters, they are looking at another Niger. Yes, indeed, another Niger from Africa, my brothers. And so I hold fast to that, dear brother. And if need be, I'm willing to take a DNA test to prove it. And there's no confusion on my end, dear brother. The mirror tells me every day that I am indeed a black man. And thusly, brothers and sisters, even though I'm not blessed with the most melanin on the planet, even though I'm not blessed with the most melanin on the planet, we are indeed black people. We are indeed Africans and Americans, those of us who live in the Americas, and we are a Pan-African people, as the brother, our great brother, the Marcus Messiah Garvey reminded us and taught us, and is still teaching us today, dear brothers and sisters. And along with brother Malcolm X, that we are African, and there's no confusion in none of those brothers. They are scholars par excellence. They are leaders who put their lives and livelihoods on the line for our people, for liberation. And it's a false identity. It is false liberation, brothers and sisters. So Brother Ty Data has it in his mind that he heard me tonight, and left Vortex Media 2. I'm sorry, brother. Go ahead. What did you want to say?
I think we got blinked out for a second. So, now
okay, are we back?
Yeah, we still should be back, but I think we got blinked out. There we go.
Oh, okay.
There we go. Sorry about that, sir.
Okay. Yeah. So, but anyway, dear brother, you were making references again to how I look. But in my family, dear brother, and in most black people's families, you have a diversity of colors in one family, dear brother. Okay. In my family, my father was a very dark chocolate black man, very dark. Okay. And my mother was pretty much sort of like my color. And then my youngest brother and sister, who are twins, are very, very light-skinned African-American male and female. And all of these colors are in my one family. And so my family is really not much unlike many other families. And I've sort of kind of taken an in-between color between my mom and my dad. So I'm closer to my mother's color But and my brother right beneath me is almost a spitting image of my dad. So we can't sit up here and continue to deceive ourselves based on the diversity, the very real diversity of skin tone and hair textures of original or aboriginal Africans, okay? People who live and originate from the continent of Africa, from West Africa to East Africa, from to North Africa to South Sea, a variety of skin tones, a variety of facial features, and a variety of hair textures, dear brother. So let's not get stuck on stupid, brother. I'm not talking to you, but I'm just talking to my people in general now. We're not going to do that, people, and we're not going to continue to promote the colonial slavery lie of white skin, light skin, brown skin, copper skin supremacy. Brother Black Jesus Minister and Brother Black Jesus Ministries, along with Black Jesus Ministries and Black Jesus Radio, it is our mission, brothers and sisters, to destroy the lie that keeps us divided and confused, that the slave master's children have fed us and now resides in our psyche and in our DNA from generation to generation.
Okay, Black Jesus, you're going in. You're going in. You're going in.
I am? Okay, I'm sorry. Okay,
can you give me a
let
second?
me read up then.
Give me a second now. Now understand, you're talking to a cyborg. You're talking to half computer. So you're dealing with a different animal here. Now, now I'm probably gonna ask you some questions because because I like to talk to your brain. I don't like to talk to you. I like to talk to your brain, and so the brain works better with questions. And so,
okay.
So if you don't, so it will be better if you answer the question first and then go into something else. Because sometimes you go into something else and then you circle around to the question, and so so it's gonna kind of throw me off a little bit. But I didn't mention anything about color. I didn't mention anything about color or the color thing. I'm not sure where that came up at, but I never mentioned color. So your color don't have nothing to do with the argument. It's just you are is obviously you're one of us, and it's I mean it's plain to see. So your color has nothing to do with it. But but I got a question for you, and I got a question where I want you to go in on it. This is the question I want you to go in. Now see us younger men out here, we got a lot of us wasted our lives doing raunchy things, and so we come to a certain type of consciousness, and it give us a certain type of energy, and we're trying to make up for it. Now you being older and you seeing a lot more, we have great respect for your opinion. And so what I want to ask is, do you have any advice, or is there anything in specific you want to see out of our generation? Anything you want to see from us?
Absolutely, dear brother. The very first thing that I want to see, and as a black man, and this is again one of the missions of Black Jesus Minister, Black Jesus Ministries, and Black Jesus Radio. The number one thing, but not the first thing, but the number one thing is the ultimate love and unity of the human family. The ultimate love and unity of the human family. This is the desire, and this is the plan, the ultimate plan of His Christ, Black Jesus, Yeshua, Messiah, and of His holy daughter, the Holy Spirit. Family in love. And as a human family, dear brother, we as black people, we are the genetic and literal physical mothers and fathers. Yes, sir.
You confusing me.
Yes, sir.
I'm sorry, you confusing me a little bit because I was expecting some instructions. I was expecting some instructions. You know, you have a
Okay,
lot,
well,
you have
before
a
I
lot
give
of
you
minds,
instructions,
you have a lot of young minds listening to you, and we don't have nothing up there. So we're asking you to put some actual instructions in there. If you ever seen that movie Men in Black? You remember when he had the neuralizer and then he would then instruct people of what to do? So we're talking in that type of sense. Like
yes, sir. I
like
understand exactly what you're saying. Now listen to me,
what do
brother.
you want to see us do?
Okay. Number one is that we need to unite as a human family in love. All right. And
Yes.
this is the plan of God. And how do we do that? We must do that in truth, brothers and sisters.
Okay.
And we must be ready to put aside our pride in thinking that what we think and that what we think we know is all right and all correct. I see that the spirit of pride is a big problem among the human family and among people, and indeed our people as black people. We must be ready at all times to continually examine what we think is right, even as I examine everything that I think that I know and think that's right, even the premise of God and Christ and the Bible. I am challenging these things, and challenge, including the faith in God, the faith of Christ, the Bible. As I challenge these things, and as I diligently seek other people's challenges, and not just blindly and stubbornly say, oh, well, what I believe is what I believe, and that's it. That is a blind fool, brothers and sisters. The Bible, God even says in the Bible to test him, to put him to the test. And as I continue to test the scriptures, to test God, and to test knowledge, and to test science, and to test information that people give to me, if it's correct, it's going to continue to prove that it's correct. And when someone comes to you with simplicity, and simplicity happens to be more correct than what you're saying about something, or completely, totally disproves a thing that you believe, brothers and sisters, it is important that you and I be ready to exchange that error or that falsehood for that new understanding, which is probably an ultimate truth, so that we can all come together and move forward in our conversations and in our interactions with each other, regardless of what differences we have. Because if we be humble, we can come together by what? Doing what? Having the same mind and being able to agree more on different things. Let me say this to the family, to all the younger generation. Uh, God is the only one who knows everything, brothers and sisters. God is the only one who's omniscient, all right, and omnipotent. So therefore, that means that the rest of us, we don't know everything. So therefore, we must be ready to evaluate the things that we know and the things that we think. All truth belongs only to God. All truth belongs to God and comes from.
Okay.
So therefore, keep it in your mind and your heart. Keep it in your mind and in your heart, dear brothers and sisters.
Okay. So,
That yeah. I'm sorry. Just
is
keep
it?
it in your mind, brothers and sisters. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
There's an
Maybe I'm
echo in
looking
the
at the
sound.
wrong way.
There's an echo in the sound. It's like a distorted sound from the
Okay.
environment.
Okay. I think I know what it is. Hold on one second. Hold
Is
on.
it?
Hold on. Hold on one second, brother. I think I need to turn down the volume here on YouTube. Let me turn the volume down.
Yes,
Let
man.
me.
So,
Uh,
is it any way you can
uh,
simplify that question for the younger people who might not fully understand? If you can make it simple as possible, as kindergarten as possible, so they can understand the instructions and the advice that you're giving them.
I sure will do that. Are we still? Is my voice still? We still hearing echoes?
You good. You're good because I want to go ahead and get in. But I didn't hear really any instructions, and so
Okay.
I'm a little confused on what you're saying.
Okay. Okay. So again, all truth belongs to God. All right. It belongs to God and it comes from God. So it's our responsibility to continually seek truth and to seek knowledge and be ready to discard anything that is not true. and not hang on to the spirit of pride to hold on to anything that is not true. That is, I'm finding that to be a major problem between all people in all ages.
Okay, so basically you're telling us to seek the truth.
And have it and be and the most important thing is to be willing.
Is that what you're saying?
Is to be.
Sir,
Excuse me.
Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, I'm saying that. But what I'm also saying is what's more as seeking truth. Okay, and the problem that the people are having is that we're refusing. We need to have a willing mind to be ready to exchange a truth that someone will bring to you or that you may discover for anything that you have been believing that is contrary to that. And I'm talking about the spirit of pride.
Okay. One more question. Now, when you say that,
yeah,
who exactly are you talking to? Like when you're saying that, like in your mind, who exactly are you talking to? Can you be specific as possible who exactly you're talking to?
Yes, sir, dear brother. I'm talking to myself. I'm talking to the younger generation. I'm talking to everybody. Since I've had an opportunity for the past.
So you're talking to the world.
Yes, sir. Absolutely. No doubt about that.
Okay.
And so I'm talking to you, brother.
Do you have any advice for us specifically in our culture? Just us specifically. Not the world, just us in Pacific. Do you have any advice for us in Pacific? I'm talking about North American Negroes, just us. Only us.
Okay. Well, first of all, dear brothers and sisters, and to all our brothers and sisters here in the Americas,
right?
We must realize, first of all, that this country that we live in, and everyone knows this, is that we tend to take an Americanized spirit and mentality. We tend to develop an Americanized spirit and mentality. For example, when Americans go to other countries in the world, there's a certain type of swag, there's a certain type of mentality, and there's a certain type of an American superiority or supremacy that we tend to have when we interact with other peoples of other cultures and other countries. And I want us to be mindful of this, is that we should not adopt, or that we should be mindful of this air of superiority, because we live in so-called the greatest country in the world, or the most powerful nation on the planet. We hear that over and over throughout the media. Okay, and these things psychologically go to our head as American men and women. And when we meet other people of other nationalities, other countries, and other cultures, we tend to look down upon them, and we need to stop that, because we are closing ourselves off to a world that is bigger than the United States and the United States culture, and we're closing ourselves off from people whom we come from and people who we originate because of this air of supremacy and superiority.
Got it.
That's one thing I've noticed.
Thank you, Black Jesus. We still hear that echo in the background. Now let me go ahead and get a quick comment in. Now, there's a lot of people out there that actually give the Aboriginal community a hard time. Now, many of these guys reject the Bible because they say they literally say that the white man gave us the Bible, but then they go ahead and teach what the white man teach. So it's kind of confusing. It's kind of confusing that the same people who reject the Bible, they embrace the doctrine from the white man. I mean, do you think that's worse to embrace the doctrine of the white man versus the Bible? Because at least the Bible has good principles and can give some good values. But when you take the doctrine of the so-called white man versus the Bible, I mean, Black Jesus, do you think that's a little backwards?
Okay, Brother Ty Data. These are some very good questions and some very good points. Now, let me say this to the family and to the audience. You know, I may sound a little off right now because I thought that we were going to talk about the topic of the show that I titled for tonight's show, Brother Tadeda. And I like these questions, so we're going to continue to do this as long as you want to.
No,
But tonight's title,
we're gonna go in,
no,
Black Jesus. But you kind of just went in a little bit. So I had a couple questions to start the show. I thought they was gonna be like 2-3, second questions. I didn't know it was gonna be like 10-minute questions. So excuse me for that.
Okay. No, that's fine. Look, whichever way this discussion go, and I'm hoping that you and I can get together and have more discussions, so I can go more into detail about the things that we're talking about. Because we're going to be sort of kind of hitting and missing tonight, and we're going to just be able to touch on things a little bit. But you're bringing up some very powerful questions that I've been for a long time here on social media, and I will gladly go in depth and answer as much questions that you and your audience may have. And but again, tonight's title that I titled for the subject tonight is Black Jesus Minister Ty Data discusses the Aboriginal paradigm. Are we Africans or not? Again, Black Jesus Minister and Brother Ty Data discusses the Aboriginal paradigm. Are we Africans or not? Now, I'm sure we're going to get to that topic. So now getting back to your question that you just asked me a minute ago. Can you hear me, brother?
Yes, I can, sir.
Okay. And is there any static or whatever going on?
You're all good, right, sir. Now? Just go ahead and go in, Black Jesus. Go ahead and go in. Sir.
All right, good. Well, my response to that, dear brother, first of all, my name should be a dead giveaway. My name is Black Jesus Minister. Black Jesus Minister, and the root word of Christian is Christ. And yes, other people can be Christ-like because the word Christ is an Egyptian Canaanite word. And you guys can look this up, and it's an Egyptian Canaanite Phoenician word that's originally spelled with no vowels, K-R-S-T. K-R-S-T. Yes, sir.
I'm sorry. It kind of seemed like you're talking at them. I was, you know what I'm saying, and not at me. So I'm a little confused. You know what I'm saying?
Okay, well, brother, I'm talking. Well, first of all, hold on, brother Taddy. First of all, I understand that you and I are the only ones who are verbally on this conversation. Yes, we got people on the chat and that are listening. So yes, I'm talking to you and the people who are listening on the chat. So now, if you let me just kind of, I know you asked me this question. And I don't mind if you're not understanding something, then definitely go ahead and interject. But let me just complete what I'm saying so the people can get an understanding, because you asked a very powerful question, which goes to the very center and the very core of what I care about and what I believe, and that is my faith. It is an African faith, brother. Okay. You said.
Okay. Is it?
Hold on, Tadeda, hold on, brother. Listen, brother. You just said to the people, and you just asked me, okay? Why should we, or in other words, I'm kind of paraphrasing what you're saying. You're saying, well, aren't we being misled if we are believing in a white man's Christianity, a white man's religion, the white man's Bible?
No, I'm not saying that. I'm not saying that. That wasn't the question.
That's not what you said, brother?
Nuh-uh.
Okay, well, brother Tadeda, go ahead and repeat what you said, brother, because I could have swore you mentioned those things.
Right, but
repeat
I
what you said.
I mentioned them in reverse. So, but
okay, what do you mean?
But if you can answer the question first and then go in, so that way I can record it and get an answer, and then you can go in. But if you go in and then you kind of curve around with an answer at the end, it sort of sounds like it's you know what I'm saying, it's miscombobulating you. You know what I'm saying? Because if I ask you your name, you're going to tell me your name right away. So when I ask you a question, I expect the question to be right away. So if you go in and then you answer the question at the end, I can't explain it, but it's not right to me. You understand what I'm saying?
Okay.
So the
Okay, now,
question was the question was that, you know, there's people out there that reject the Bible. Okay, they reject the Bible because they believe that the Bible is hazardous to them because the so-called white man gave them the Bible. Now, those same exact people take the white man's doctrine and they would almost kill us for it. They would deny us for it. They will fight us for the white man's doctrine. So what I was trying to say is, what do you think is better to what do you think is worse, to have the white man's doctrine or to have the Bible? You understand
so now,
the
when
question?
you say, so now, okay. So are you including the Bible as part of the white man's doctrine, Brother Ty Data?
No, I'm not. I'm talking to a specific group of people out there that believe that the Bible is the white man's doctrine, so they reject it. They reject all books,
Yes,
and they
okay,
reject everything
right,
that the white man give them. But what they do is they cling on to his theories, and they cling on to his doctrine, but yet they reject the book. So what I'm trying to say is that, what do you think is worser, rejecting the book or rejecting the doctrine?
Okay, brother. Now let me say this, Brother Ty Data. I'm about to pull something up on my screen, and I'm going to share it when I get there. Now, we've kind of been all over the place in a very short time. Now, listen to me, brother. I heard you very well, okay? Now, and I know you think like a computer, you think like a cyborg. I don't think like that, brother. When you ask me a question, it may take me a few minutes to say what I have to say, because your questions are not shallow. Like, what's your name? Black Jesus Minister. I can say that in 1 second. But you're asking some very in-depth, serious questions, okay? And I take those type of questions very seriously. Okay. So, brother, I'm telling you right now, I'm not going to be able to, if you ask me a deep question, it's not going to be no quick answer. Now, I'm not going to sit up here and just run my mouth and talk and deceive people like some flim-flam artists here on social media that I know love to do. I'm not going to mention no names. I'm not going to flim-flam y'all, all right? Yes. I'm going to talk, and I'm going to talk with information that you guys can look up to verify that what I'm saying is true, instead of me just sounding good and running my mouth or just preaching. I'm not going to do that. When I'm preaching, I'm teaching. And when I'm teaching, preaching, brother, okay? Yes. So, Brother Ty Data, all right, put on your seatbelt, brother, and put on your thinking cap. When you ask me a deep question, I'm going to give you the answer, and you're just going to have to be patient with me, brother, okay, until I complete the answer. And if I'm being too long-winded, then okay, let me know, because I know I can do that from time to time. But again, be prepared for a full answer, complete answer when you ask me a deep question. Now, everything that you just said, you repeated, and I did, and I was answering, I was addressing your question properly, dear brother. So yes, in regards to our brothers and sisters who have been deceived from their African faith, who have been deceived from his brother. And let me say this: all of the three major faiths are the Hebrew faith, the Christian faith, the Islamic faith. All of these three major religions come from Africa, come from the Canaanite people, come from the Egyptian people, goes all the way back to the Akkadian people, the Babylonian people, and all the way back to the very first people of the Pygmy-Twa people, who believed in and all the African civilizations that I just mentioned. We are the recipients of the understanding of monotheism. Monotheism is African, the worship of a one supreme God. It is African, brothers and sisters. And the story of the first man and woman, the first story of the first created man and woman, you can find that story among the Pygmy-Twa people, and the Pygmy-Twa people of the monotheistic God Bembe, Bembe, Komba, Komba, and they spoke in their oral history before there was writing, that God created the first male and first female couple on the planet, created all the animals and the earth. This is the story of Genesis that goes all the way back to the oral history and the oral traditions of the Pygmy African people. All of their tribes tell the same story, and also telling that the man and the woman, that the man was created from clay, that human beings were created from clay. This too is the same story that you find in the biblical account of the creation of Adam. So, Brother Ty Data, I'm full of a lot of knowledge, and I'm not going to be able to lay all this down for you tonight, but I'm just giving you snippets. And also, I'm not just giving it to you, but I'm giving it to our audience. And I would love to come back on your show and to give everybody all the details about what I'm talking about. So, Christianity, brothers and sisters, we have been deceived by white people, by black people, and people of other races to make you think and to make you believe in the so-called conscious community that Christianity is a white man's religion. And that is false. So, brothers and sisters, Christianity and the three major faiths are African. And Jesus Christ, the Christ Messiah, whom more than half of the world agrees and believes that he is the greatest man to ever walk and live on this earth, that man, Jesus Christ, is a black African man. And the first Christians and the Israelites all knew this because they were black people. So, brothers and sisters, you guys can go to your computer right now and type in the shrines of the Black Madonna and Black Baby Jesus. Shrines of the Black Madonna and Black Baby Jesus. Brother Tade, let me show everybody this picture on my screen. I'm finna share my screen. Can you see my page, Brother Tade? Yes. Can you see my screen? Okay.
Yes, I see the screen.
Okay, let me pull this. Let me pull this picture up, brother. Hold on for a second. I gotta show you guys this picture.
Black Jesus.
Yes.
I know your name.
Hold on, hold on, brother. Hold on, Ty Data. Hold on, brother.
Go ahead.
Let me show everybody. Let me show everybody this picture, okay? And then I'm gonna just talk for 30 seconds, and I'm gonna hand it over to you. I want to show everybody this picture. Let me pull this up real quick. Yeah.
Hold on 1 second. Hold on 1 second. I don't know if we still going live or not because it seems like hold on, what the hell is it?
I'm hearing something in the background.
Yeah, it seems like we kind of got knocked off. But I don't know what this about. Let me see.
You understand what I'm saying? So
yeah, go ahead, Black Jesus. You can go in. I'll try to check this out.
Okay. It sounds like.
Oh, I don't even think we live anymore. I think he bumped us off the show.
All right then. Well, if that's what he did, then brother, then we need to go
ahead. We still on another show. We still on another show. But
okay. So is there any way that you can mute his mic? Because I hear him in the background.
Yeah, it's okay. We still.
I don't hear it now.
We still live. We still live on another channel.
Okay. So we still live? We good?
You know, I've had a lot of opposition.
Oh no, he's on another channel. Oh, never mind. He's on another channel. We still live.
Okay, brother Tadeda, thank you. Okay, so may I continue, dear brother?
Yes, go ahead.
May I?
Yes,
okay.
Sir. Yes, sir.
So do you see my screen, brother Tadeda?
No.
Okay, you don't see my screen. Okay, I'm trying to show this to you and to everybody. It seems like it says I'm sharing my screen. Oh, I know what I did. I'm sorry. I'm supposed to be sharing my screen from the Google Hangout. I apologize. Let me do that now. If you guys look at my icon photo I'm going to show you guys a blow up of that photo of my icon here on Google Hangout. Okay, brother Ty Data, I think I'm sharing my screen now. Let me pull up what I was showing you guys a moment ago. Okay, brother Ty Data, can you see my screen now?
Yes, sir.
Okay, thank you. And to everyone who's listening in tonight, you guys, things kind of setting in the beginning because I thought we've been kind of answering questions in different areas and different places. So I'm ready. I have, and if we get back on the subject of tonight's topic, fine if we too. And if you guys have any questions that you guys want to ask me, then we will definitely do that. And I definitely want you to have me back, brother Ty Data, so that I can go more in detail to prove to our people, shadow of a doubt, that Jesus Christ is a black man, and that Christianity that Jesus Christ is a black African man, and that Christianity is a black African religion. All right. Okay. Well, hold on. Okay. 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 Ty Data. Ty Data. Ty Data. Ty Data. Hold on, brother. Hold on now. Are you looking at my screen? Thank you. Thank you very much. Well, let me explain what everybody's looking up here. This is my logo, everyone. Excuse me, brother. Let me finish saying what I got to say. You asked me to answer. I told you when you asked me a deep question. A minute. So, brothers and sisters, Black Jesus Radio, you see the two current living popes kneeling down and praying, to the African black Madonna and baby Jesus. Brothers and sisters, a picture is worth 1,000 words. This is a video. You guys can go on YouTube and see this video of the two popes kneeling and praying before the black Madonna and the black baby Jesus, brothers and sisters. And it is the black Madonna and the black baby Jesus that is the holiest iconography and the original images of Christ throughout all of Europe. And there are over 600 shrines of the black Madonna and black baby Jesus whom Europe and the popes to this day kneel down and pray to, because they know that the true Christ is African, and that the Christian religion is African, brothers and sisters. So this is my initial response to that particular question, and I'm gonna stop right there. I got a lot more information to give you, but we'll talk about that at some other time, brothers and sisters. So let's, brothers and sisters, and fooling ourselves, allowing us to fool us, when our white brothers and sisters and the Pope himself and all the popes who came before him always knew that Christianity was an African. First Christian church, brothers and sisters, was the Coptic Christians of Egypt and Ethiopia. The Coptic Christians of 42 A.D. Jesus Christ A.D. and the Coptic Church was created in 42 A.D. by the Apostle Mark in Egypt and Ethiopia. Coptic, Coptic. Yes, sir. Yeah. Brother Todd Data. Hold on, brother Tade. I asked you to verify what you asked me, and you verified a religious question. You asked me, what do we do with people who reject Christianity and the Bible as the white man's doctrine? Hold on, brother. As the white man's brother, I hear you, brother. Brother Tadeda. You asked me the question, and I'm answering it, and I just finished it with the Coptic Christians of Egypt and Ethiopia. Y'all can look it up. They were established in 42 AD. I'm not preaching, I'm giving factual information, brother. Jesus died in 30. Oh, hold on, brother. Tadeda. Give me a minute, 60 seconds, brother, and I'm done. And if you want to get off of the religion question, we can go to any other extreme that you want to. But like I told you, brother, when you ask me a question, I'm going to give you detailed information that you guys can look up and verify and stop being lollipopped and stop being lied to and stop being tricked and bamboozled out of your African faith because of ignorance. So, brother, thank you for this opportunity, man. All right? But give me one more minute. So, brothers and sisters, y'all can look up the Coptic Egypt and African Coptic Christian first order before the Catholic Church even existed. And they was created 9 years. Jesus died in 33 AD. The Coptic Church was started by Apostle Mark in Ethiopia. In Egypt, which still exists there today. The Coptic headquarters is still in Egypt by Mark of 42 AD. And the Roman Catholics, the Romans, did not become Christian and they became Christians through Constantine in 300 AD, 316 AD, almost 300 years later, brothers and sisters. So Christianity is not a white man's religion. It is an African religion whom white people have whitewashed and lied to you and told you that God is white and Jesus is white because you refused to read the Bible and did not know that the Europeans and the Pope worship the black Jesus and black Madonna. So thank you. But but when you ask me a question, brother, give me time to answer it completely. Thank you, brother. Go to your next question. Uh, okay, so you're asking me where did I get my information to refute? Okay, well, first of all, I mean, of now a long time. I do have a college education, so I'm familiar with the word Aboriginal and Aborigine for a long time. Love education, Nova, National Geographic. When I love National Magazine, I still do. The pictures are very fantastic. The art all over the world. Geographic, not having set foot in many places on this planet. That began the very beginning of and Aborigines
Black Jesus, you breaking up a little bit.
The very
Black,
okay.
You breaking up a little bit.
Okay. See if I can fix that real quick.
Yeah, go ahead and put your icon back on. Go ahead and put your icon back on. Maybe that might help.
It's on now. I thought I had already switched over. Let me see. Okay. You want me to? Okay, stop sharing the screen. If I stop sharing, icon will come back up.
There we go. That's a little bit better. So.
Okay. So
you was telling us.
Sharing my icon, does that make a difference in? sound quality?
I'm not sure, but I was just trying something different. I mean,
Okay, that's fine. Go ahead, brother.
yeah. Black Jesus is explaining to us. Can you cut that down, sir? Black Jesus is explaining to us where did he get his Aboriginal philosophy from, because he's going to debunk it. So we want to know where he got it from. You know, like when you debunk something, you should be well versed in that. So and so if you got your Aboriginal philosophy from a Disney movie or a Disney channel, then there's no way possible you're going to debunk it. Now, many of these guys, they're not diverse in Aboriginal philosophy like Chief Holiday and them and a lot of other people, but they don't know about it, but they still try to debunk it. Now, we are well diverse in the Bible. We are well diverse in some of these language. We are well diverse in some of these cultures, and we are well diverse with all the Satan supremacy talking points. We are well diverse in all the stuff that they speak, so we can debunk it just like that. But when it comes to us, they basically don't. They're basically not real. You know, they're not real conversed in our talking points and in our culture, but yet they want to debunk it. So that alone is it's an ego thing, and so what we have to do is at some point we have to crush that little ego, and we have to start over. And so that's why I'm going to convert Black Jesus, because we have a job for Black Jesus, you know, and we're going to give him his Aboriginal name today. He's going to be chief minister today. So we have a job for him. We have a task for him. So he's going to be the chief minister. He's going to be in charge. We'll keep going. But so what I'm trying to ask him is, where did he get his Aboriginal information from that he's debunking? So you can go ahead and explain it to it in as much detail as possible. You can take as much time as you want. Go ahead. I'm gonna take me a drink of water. You can tell us and let us know, where do you get your information? Because if you got it from a Disney movie, and if you got it from National Geographic, then you just debunked yourself right there. So you might want to be very specific, and you might want to, but tell the truth. You know what I'm saying? Tell the truth, Black Jesus, because there's a man upstairs. You can't lie. So you should never debate. But let's keep it real. Yeah, tell us where you get this information from so we can go ahead and convert you over.
Okay, now, Brother Ty Data, I respect you, brother. I love you. But I don't take very kindly for people, putting words in my mouth or misrepresenting exactly what I said. I don't appreciate that, dear brother. Now, that may be your opinion, that the National Geographic is a Disney Channel. Did you hear me say anything about a Disney Channel, dear brother?
No, sir.
But okay, then why did you say?
I said that because they owned by the same people.
Huh?
I said that because they owned by the same people. They all the same people.
Okay, well,
so whether it's a Disney movie or National Geographic, it's all the same propaganda.
Okay, then, dear brother. First of all, National Geographic is a magazine that takes you all over the world. So, and you get to see people and their cultures. Disney, and I don't. Hold on, excuse me for a second, bro. Please.
Oh, go ahead.
All right.
Sorry. Go ahead.
It's cool. You making jokes, I ain't got no problem with that. I like to joke too, because I got a few jokes and some.
I'm just joking, Black.
And some jabs. I got you, brother. Okay, all right. I got some jabs and stabs too, brother. All right. But anyway, let me say this here, brother. I'm gonna get off of that. Everybody who has common sense now, understands and knows the history and the platform of National Geographic. And National Geographic was not always owned by the Disney Channel. Okay, I'm a lot older than you, my brother, and National Geographic goes way back. All right, trust me, my brother. When I was a child, I'm 51 now, so just add it up, bro. Okay. Now, so what was I saying? Okay, And you mentioned Chief Holiday, and I'm going to mention Autonomous One, dear brother. Now, first of all, when you mentioned Chief Holiday and Autonomous One, two men who refuse to show their faces, and to give us their true names and their true identity in the black conscious community, brother, and people who have common sense, we call these people agents, bro. Okay? And to literally elevate these unknown individuals with these fake names who refuse to identify themselves, who refuse to show their faces, Chief Holiday and Autonomous One, somebody has to be a little bit foolish and stupid and even give such a person any type of credibility in reference to their identity, believing information from people who refuse to be transparent to tell you who they are and to give you any educational credentials that they may have. You don't know who this person is, brother. It is absolutely foolish to follow somebody you don't even know, don't even have never seen, and who may be a scam artist.
Okay. I understand. Thank you for that.
Hold on, brother.
Go ahead.
Hold on, brother. Hold on. Or maybe a murderer or a pedophile. We don't know nothing about these guys.
Okay.
But because we don't know, hold on now. But what I do know about them, dear brother, as an educated man, okay. Yeah. And I don't usually talk about I don't usually talk about my education, because you don't have to be educated to have an education. All right, you don't have to have a degree to have an education. You just have to have a willing to read and to study and to be honest and to be humble and to be a student of life and to be a student of any discipline that you want to follow.
Okay.
Now, but I have a bachelor's degree. I have a master's degree. I don't have a PhD, so I'm an educated man. All right. Yeah. But my point is this. My point is this, my brother, is that when I listen to these brothers, Autonomous One and Chief Holiday, these brothers are a couple of shenanigan, shysters and flim-flammers. All right. The information that they show and that they put forth is absolutely for pseudo. Brother,
you're talking about
brother. I'm almost finished.
Black Jesus, you're talking about my brothers. Okay, now
I hear you.
I know. Can we not do that? Can we not do that? Please, can we not do
all
that?
All right. Okay. All right. I'm gonna stop right there.
Now I want to ask you a question. Have you ever seen the owner of National Geographic? Have you ever seen his face? Do you know who?
Brother,
we can Google it right now. Can you please answer that question, sir? Have you ever seen his face?
No, I do not know who is the current head of Disney at this time, brother. I do not.
Okay. All right. So let's go ahead and move on then. So let's go with the Africa, okay? Let's go with Africa, because this is how you guys always debunk yourself. Now, who named Africa? Can you tell everybody who named Africa? You can go in, Black Jesus. Go in. Who named Africa?
Absolutely, dear brother. Africans named Africa because Africa is named after indigenous tribal people of Africa who are called the Afar people. AFAR. You guys can Google that right now on your computer. Africa is named after the indigenous, the Aboriginal people, the ICA, the suffix, which means land, and it is Greek. But I also believe they got that from Africa yet as well, but I have yet to find that information. Because we, as African people, through the Canaanite Phoenician people, it is the Canaanite Phoenician, you guard alphabet and language, and the alphabet that is the mother and father alphabet of all the European alphabet and languages. Brothers and sisters, that's another show, another information that I can show you guys, factual information that I can show you that you guys can read and study. That's another conversation.
Thank you, Black Jesus.
So, dear brother Ty Data, did you understand what I just said?
Yes,
that
thank you, Black Jesus,
Africa come from the Afar people.
So all you people who think Africa is whatever, Black Jesus just broke it down for you. But I'm gonna ask him, what group of Africans got together and named the whole continent of Africa? Now, what group of Africans got together and named that the whole continent Africa? Can you tell us that?
Well, I would tend to believe, dear brother, that it had something to do with the prominence of the Afar people. Now, to ask me which individual or which dynasty or family or intertribal group people actually said, okay, we're going to call this continent Africa or Africa, because Africa was also, before it was called Africa, it was called Africa. Ifrica, and named again. Hold on, brother. Named again after another indigenous Aboriginal African people called the Ifri people. The IFRI. You guys can look up Ifriqiya. Africa used to be called Ifriqiya. IFRIQUA. I think that's correct. So if I'm off by a little bit.
Okay,
so Ifriqiya.
So who
Hold
named it?
Hold on, brother. Listen. Africa, before it was called Africa, was called Ifriqiya. Ifri, after the Ifri people. Brother, listen.
You're going off the question. I'm asking who named it. Who gave that whole continent? Are you saying a group of Aborigine ancient Africans got together and decided to name the whole continent Africa? Is that what you're saying, sir?
Absolutely, brother. I believe that the Afar people, listen to me, brother, listen.
Okay.
It has to be common sense.
Okay.
That the Afar people, brother, just listen to me. Listen, brother, hold on now. Come on now. Now, while you listening to me and you talking to me, I hope you're Googling. Did you Google the Afar people to verify they are a true people in Africa, brother Ty Data? Did you do that?
No, sir.
Okay, do it right now, brother Ty Data. Because see, if you don't do it, you just keep running your mouth.
I'm doing production, but most Africans don't know that. So most Africans don't know that.
Okay, I got you, brother. Hold on, brother. Listen, brother. See, I don't want to just do a whole lot of just damn running my mouth when I'm giving you 1 + 1 is 2. I said that in 3 seconds, didn't I? Right? We don't need to talk about that for 5 minutes when 1 + 1 is 2, and you know that. So
Okay,
I'm asking you right now. Hold on, brother Ty Data. Listen now, brother.
Yep.
I'm gonna get quiet right now while I'm talking, and I want you to Google, and everybody that's listening, Google the Afar, AFAR people, and verify right now. I want you to put it on the air, on recording, brother Ty Data, that you have found it in your Google search. Verify that right now, brother.
Okay.
Go ahead and do that now.
I'm gonna do it, but I need you to understand something. I need you to understand. Can you turn? I need you to understand something, Black Jesus. I am not asking.
Go ahead, brother.
What was the name of a people? I'm asking who named the whole goddamn continent. Now, Africa is broke up in many different tribes and many different languages. So you're telling me that these Afar people took their name and they put it over every single tribe and every single language, and everybody was cool with that? Are you saying that, sir?
No, that's not what I'm saying,
okay,
brother.
Now let's go ahead and move on. Let's go ahead and let's move on.
No, brother. Hold on. No. We're not going to move on if you don't understand what I'm saying. Now, let me say this.
I know exactly what you're saying. I know exactly what you're saying.
Hold on, brother. No, brother. Hold on, brother. Data. All right. Now, listen to me, brother. You're going to have to slow your roll, dog. All right. Now, we might not be. You may have 100. Listen. You may have 100 questions right now. We may only get through 10 of them. I will come back and do another show with you, bro, to allow me to be thorough in everything that you're asking me. I'm not gonna skip, hop, and jump and you cut me off like I didn't explain myself and give the facts to the people, brother. We are here for information.
Black Jesus, I just let you go in on that question, sir, and I just did a little phrase, and I moved on. So I wasn't. You know what I'm saying? I just did a simple little phrase. It was a sentence, and I was moved on. I let you go in. You went in on that, and I just said a little phrase at the end, and I was ready to move on. I was thought you had everything gone already. So,
Brother Tadeta, Brother Tadeta,
go ahead.
You gave a rebuttal at the. You gave a rebuttal, brother.
It was just a
You
sentence.
said you need to tell. No, brother Tadeta. Listen, I said what I said, and then you didn't leave that alone after I said it, and you came back with a rebuttal, and you were saying that you need to tell us that these people, they got everybody to take on that one name, all the different tribes to take on that one name. That's what you were saying, brother. So when you give a rebuttal,
I was a question.
Then
it was
you
one question,
brother. I know, brother. Look. Whether your rebuttal is a question or a comment, you need to give me an opportunity to reply. Don't just give your rebuttal and leave that in the minds of the people unanswered. And let's say, "Oh, let's move on, Black Jesus." I don't want to give you. No, brother. No, I did not. I started.
You said no,
brother. No, brother. Tadeta.
Go ahead,
brother.
Black
Listen,
Jesus.
brother.
Go ahead. Let's go ahead. Go ahead and get in. I got you. We know what happened. We all seen it. We all was here. So let's just go ahead. Let's just go ahead and go in on what you finna say. And if you got any questions for me, so we can go ahead and knock this out, Black Jesus. You know what I'm saying? People up late is late.
Okay.
Let's go ahead and knock this out, man. We do this at an early time if that's possible.
No. We're not. Okay, look. Up too long. Whenever you're ready to end this thing, we'll do a part 2. As soon as you're ready to end it, but make sure that I don't have nothing else to say, and we'll end it, and we'll come back and do a part 2. Okay?
Yes.
Now, let me reply to your last rebuttal, brother. All right? Now, listen, brother.
Okay.
Hold on. Listen. Now, the content. First of all, you and I had this discussion when we were talking yesterday. If any of you all know any African brother or sister from any country in Africa, when you go meet those Africans, or when you go to Africa, or if you meet an African here in America, all Africans, regardless of what country they come from, all of them identify as Africans, and they do not have no problem calling themselves African. As a matter of fact, dear brother, all of the African countries are unified, just as the UN is unified, the United Nations, and they have a United Nations in Africa called the African Union. Did you know that, Brother Tadeta?
Yes, I did. But we're talking about ancient Africans.
Okay.
But go ahead, Black Jesus. I
Okay,
gotta take a break,
brother, hold on, brother.
I gotta take a break. I'm sorry. Doug in the building. Doug, where you been, family? Where you been, man? It's weird as hell without you, family. Where you at? But go ahead, Black Jesus. I'm gonna go ahead and take a little break. Please go in, Black Jesus. Go ahead.
No
All right. Yep.
No problem. Okay, so brothers and sisters, as I was explaining to Brother Tadeta, in the continent of Africa, there is a union and a building in Addis Ababa, Egypt. In Addis Ababa, Egypt, that was built by the Chinese, and there was a controversy about this building maybe about a year or two ago, that the Chinese actually bugged the building with listening devices. This building is called the African Union Building of the African Union, where all of the African nations and all of the African countries and all of the African people meet to strategize for the prosperity and for the union of all of the African countries in Africa. So we have a building, we have a people, and a union called the African Union. So Brother Black Jesus Minister is not making this up. So the Africans who know their history, who are an ancient people, even though this is 2018, these people know their ancient history. It's us over here in America who are stupid and dumb as hell and ignorant as hell, who have been cut off from our history, acting like and questioning Africans about their identity. Okay? Like we know more than they are, and we're the ones who was cut off from ourselves and our knowledge, brothers and sisters. We got to stop this mess now. We got to think, and we must be armed with common sense, knowledge, and facts. So, as I was saying to Brother Tadeta, the Africans of all the different African countries, from North Africa, South, East, and West, all of them call themselves, even those who look Arab and have Arabic bloodlines, such as those in North Africa of Egypt, the Arabs, when they came over in the Arab invasion through the Islamic era, being led by Muhammad and took over North Africa. Even these people call themselves Arab Africans. Okay? So, brothers and sisters, the African Union is an example of what I'm saying. And as if you have African friends, none of them have any problems calling themselves African. They identify with it, and they know the African history and the name history better than you and I, which I am sharing with you all today.
Okay.
So again,
okay, I have an African
the
on the phone.
Afar people.
I have an African on the phone.
Okay, well, hold on. Tell the African brother, sister. Tell the African brother, sister to please hold on. Okay. So the African brothers and sisters have no problems calling themselves Africans, and the name Africa comes from the Afar people. Ty Data, did you Google the Afar people? Because I want you to go on record that you Google it, and yes, the Afar people do exist. Did you find it, brother?
No, hold on. I'm looking right now.
Okay, you go ahead and do that when I'm talking. And then when you find it, you can barge in. So, brothers and sisters, the ancient indigenous Aboriginal, they're not the only ones, and ancient Aboriginal tribal indigenous people of Africa called the Afar people of Africa is where Africa has its name from the Afar people, brothers and sisters.
Black Jesus. The question was not where did Africa get its name from. The question was who named it that. So I think you. I think you probably got it a little confused. So that's the question. Who named it that?
I'm going to give it to you right now.
Who named it that?
Brother, I'm going to give it to you right now. You ready? The leaders of the Afar people named it Africa, brother. The Afar people did. Not just no one person. The Afar people and their leaders. And how do I know that? How do I know that? I gave you and I spoke to you, brother Ty Data, last night.
Okay.
I asked you and I was explaining to you, how did China get its name? Even though China has many thousands of different ethnic and tribal people. All the people in China are not from the same ethnic.
Okay.
And tribe.
Now,
what did I tell you last night?
Let's break this down. So you're saying that a little ancient people of Afar people, they got together and they decided to name the whole continent Africa, and all the other people who with different languages that don't even speak their languages and probably never even been to their city or anything, they was okay with that and they all accepted it. Even the Middle Eastern people accepted it. So they named Africa and everybody just was like, yeah, man, we African then. Is that what you're saying?
Brother Ty Data, why did you sit up here and say a little group of people? Why did you say that, brother?
Because you said a tribe.
Brother, when I say tribe, a tribe can be 1 million people, brother, or 10 million people. Oh, come on now! Don't think of the word tribe as being a small group of people, brother. You're allowing semantics.
Well, I'm comparing it to a continent of people.
Brother,
and a country of people.
Oh, okay, Ty Data, listen to me, bro. Okay, look. Every people.
Huh? Black Jesus, you here? Black Jesus. Oh, is that my computer? Oh yeah. Black Jesus, you kind of cut out. Where you at? Okay. So when Black Jesus come back, he'll explain. So basically what Black Jesus is trying to say, boys and girls, is that some people called the Afar people, they got together in their country and they decided to name the whole continent Africa. And so all the other surrounding countries adopted it, and so did the Europeans. So now today because of those group of people in this one in the country named Africa. So this is what he's saying. So he will be back. I think he timed out or something. And so I mean, yeah, so you know, he's an elder, you guys. He's an elder. So please be respectful. Black Jesus is going to convert to an Aborigine today. He's going to be an Aborigine. And so you know, he's an elder. So we have to be very careful with how we treat his information, because he's been going around with this information for a very long time. And if we just snatch it away from him, it can give him harm. So we have to be careful on how we, you know, talk to our older people. And also I believe that we need to start valuing them a lot more. Because I see a group of guys come up here, they cuss Black Jesus.
All right, brother Todd Data,
like,
can you hear me, sir?
Yep, I hear you. They cuss Black Jesus the hell out like they talking from a dude from a block. Hold up, wait a minute. You talking to an elder, okay? If this was a tribe, if we was a tribe of people, if he don't even know you, he got the right to tap. He got the right to put you in your place. And so we going back to some of that. So, you know, I know I'm a little jokey asshole, a little weirdo a little bit, but Black Jesus know that I have the utmost respect for him. And I'm not, you know, even though we have our differences or whatever, but he is an elder at the end of the day. And so so we got that, Black Jesus. Thank you for that information. Is there anything else you want to say, sir?
Yeah, and I apologize. My battery on my laptop went out. I thought I had it plugged up, so I apologize for that that lapse in time right there. But yeah, I was just basically saying, dear brother, I was giving you the example about China. There were many different families and tribes and dynasty tribes throughout China, and they fought for territory and supremacy in China. Okay,
yeah.
And hold on, brother. And every time a particular dynasty came to prominence in China, that area, not all the totality of China, but that area was named after whoever was ruling China at that time.
So they fought. So they
hold
fought.
on, brother.
So they fought for that name. Bloodshed for that name, right?
Brother Data, I'm talking about China right now.
Right,
so
right. For China, bloodshed for that name, right?
Brother, yes. Now,
but
hold
in
on,
Africa,
brother.
it was just like we good. We accepted it.
Brother, now, as far as warring, I'm sure that there would look. We know that peoples of all continents warred against each other. There's no doubt about that, brother. Shaka Zulu is one notable African who was fighting and conquering other African tribes and nations and expanding his territory. That has always gone on since the beginning of human history, dear brother. There's nothing new about that whatsoever, and it's not just unique to China. Now, I don't know all of the extensive history of the rise of the Afar people, but I will get that information and come back to you with that at a later time. But right now, I'm just giving you the foundation, dear brother, of understanding so that you won't throw yourself off. So all I'm saying is that China got its name from the ruling Qin family tribal name, the Qin dynasty, Chin. And when the Qin dynasty ruled China, not all of China, but a great vast majority of it was named after the Qin dynasty called Qin. Okay, and so, and even when the Qin dynasty got dethroned, the name stuck from the previous dynasty, the Qin dynasty, and that's how China has its name today, even though it didn't encompass the entire territory, but the people went along with that name because it was a dynastic name from the Qin dynasty. So China got its name from a tribal group of people, indigenous Aboriginal Chinese people, and nobody in China argues about them being Chinese. At the same time, they still maintain and identify their individual ethnic identities as well. So China is their national identity, and then they have thousands of ethnic identities that they have no problem with intermingling.
Okay.
And they have no problem with identifying themselves as Chinese.
Okay.
So the same way, hold on, just 30 more seconds. The same way China got its name is the same, almost similar way that every continent got its name.
What?
Along, sir, the way almost every continent got its name was through or countries got their name was through a ruling tribe of people or a dynasty of people who lived in that area. Okay.
Okay.
So this also happened. This also happened.
Black Jesus, can you understand something?
Hold on.
You're talking
Hold on,
to
brother.
a park computer. So can you please explain to me what is almost similar? Can you please explain to me? You just worked my brain. Can you explain to me what is almost similar?
Okay. All right, sure. Let's for an example. India is different. We know the continent of India. India is named after the Indus River. The Indus River, okay? But the Indus River is also named after an Indus people, okay? So, now, even though India did not get its name through these people so much ruling the Indus people of the Indus Valley in India, but because they all accepted the name of the river that was named after the Indus people, that's how India has its name. But it still comes from prominent people. Now, I just told you, I don't know how the Afar people were prominent. I don't know if it was through war or if it was through trade or through influence or their size. I don't know. But it could be a number of factors that occurred that Africa accepted the title for its continent as Africa. And the African Union is my ultimate proof, there, brother.
So can you? So before you get started, really quick, can you really explain to me what is almost similar? Really quick. What do you mean by almost similar? What exactly does that mean?
Well, okay. When I said almost similar, I just gave you the example of how India got its name compared to China, for example.
I know you gave me a vision, like some kind of story to it, but you didn't explain it to me like a man to man. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Again, in China got its name from a prominent dynastic tribal people called the Qin dynasty and the Qin people, and that name became to prominence because of war. I know that 100% for a fact about war. So China got its name by war of the Qin dynasty defeating all the other dynasties, all the other tribal people, and becoming prominent in China. Now in India, I said it's kind of sort kind of. It might. I don't think it's totally by war, but the similarity is it came from the Indus Valley and Indus people in India, who had to be very prominent for the river to be named after them, and or for them to name the river, and then also the continent to be named after them. How did these people become prominent? How did the Indus Valley people become prominent? Was it through war? Was it through just by commerce, by being rich? Were their numbers very large? Were there a very large number of people? It could be a number of factors, and it could be similar to China, or it could be similar and different in many other ways. That's why I said that, brother.
Okay.
As an example.
Okay. So. Okay. Got you. Now, is there anything you want to ask me? Because I got some questions to ask you. I mean, I got something to say. But if you want to get to the meat of your argument, now will be a good time to do it. Otherwise, I got something I want to talk to you about.
I sure do, brother. When you get a chance, and I don't know if you'll get a chance to do that tonight, but my question to you, my task for you, and not just for you, but everybody who's listening to this show right now, and I want you guys to reach out to Brother Data, because so when we do a part two of this, when we do a part two of this show, I want you guys, and I want Brother Ty Data to find me an Indian tribe. Find me 1, 2, or 3 Indian tribes. Since we say and we believe to some degree. And Brother Black Jesus Minister, let me put this out there to you guys. Myself and Brother Ty Data, we do believe, and I do understand. Thus far, the evidence thus far seems to prove that black people or African people were here in the Americas before any Mongoloids came over here, or any Mongoloid Asians came over here across the Bering Strait. And we proved that, and Brother Black Jesus Minister proved that, and also agreed previously here on Vortex Media with my debates on the Aboriginal issue. You guys can go to the archives of Vortex Media 2 and just type in Black Jesus Minister, and you guys will see that we talked about the oldest human remains that are found in the Americas is of two African women, one named Naya of 14,000 years old, and the other is Lucia, and her bones are like 12,000 years old. So Brother Ty Data and I and Brother Black Jesus Minister agrees with all of you Aboriginal thinking brothers and sisters that the Olmecs and along with Naya and Lucia proves that black people were here first. But that is not a problem or an issue, because the entire world knows that black people were the first Aboriginal people, the first indigenous people all over the globe. We left Africa and inhabited the entire globe.
Thank you,
including the Americas.
Thank you,
including the Americas.
Thank you, Chief Minister. Thank you, Chief Minister.
Now, but this is what I'm saying to you, dear brother.
Okay.
Now, but we know for a fact, as I also proved, because see, you all and Lex Vortex and Chief Unconscious One and Unconscious One and Chief Holiday were saying, when I first came on the scene, the Vortex Media were saying that the Mongoloids and the Asiatics coming over across to the Bering Strait, that never happened. But Brother Black Jesus Minister proved that beyond a shadow of a doubt, and you guys can check that out with the other information.
I never said that. I never said that.
No, you never said that.
I know, but you with me though. I understand you trying to make an argument for the community, for them, but I never said that. I don't even know what the hell the Bering Strait is. To be honest.
Look, brother, look. I'm talking to you and the people.
No, I know what it is though.
You didn't say that, and thank God you didn't say that, because you're too smart to say something like that, okay? But Brother Lex, Brother Chief Unconscious One, Chief Holiday, these leaders of yours whom you've never seen, who we don't know who their real name is, we don't know nothing really about these guys, okay? They said this and it was false. So the question is, what else is false when we see all of these Asiatic brothers and sisters all over the globe here in the Americas? That's crazy to say that. How did they get here? So we know that they're here. So my challenge to you and to all my Aboriginal brothers and sisters right now, I want you guys to find me at least 1, 2, and 3 tribes of Aboriginal people who look like us, who look like Ty Data and me, where the majority of them and their leadership look like us. Because if we are the first Indians and the indigenous people, and you guys run around here talking about, feathers up, okay? Feathers up, and you belong to this tribe, the Cherokee, I'm Cherokee, I'm Choctaw, I'm this, that, and that. Well, show me an American Indian tribe in Central America, South America, or North America, where all or the majority of them are black-looking people who look like us. I am sure you will find not one. But if you can find one, you got an argument. But I doubt that you may find one.
So if we find one, what does that mean, though? What does it mean? If we find one, what does that mean? Can you tell us what that means?
Okay. But if you find one, this is what that means then. Then that will strengthen your argument. That will strengthen your argument that the black people here descend from these Aboriginal blacks, of these who call themselves indigenous Native Americans, and different tribal names such as Cherokee, Choctaw, whatever, Navajo, blah 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 blah. But so that will give credibility on you guys in. But if you cannot find one, two, or three tribes where the majority of the people look like us.
Okay, and so what exactly does this do, sir? Because we need to find out what does this do for you.
That is going to lend a blow to the fact, oh, well, all of us here in America, all those black people here in America, we came from these Indians. You got to have the numbers, brother. You got to have the numbers within of the black people who are on the tribal lands right now.
Okay.
If they're the first people, they should still be on the reservations right now.
Okay.
Do you hear me, brother?
I got you. Yeah. We actually do that all the time. That's something we do for fun. You know, that's actually something we do for fun. But I'm not going to do it right now. And so we do have that. But what I'm going to say is, Chief Minister, I would like to know what are your opinion on us Aboriginal people getting married. What are your opinion on that?
About us getting married?
About us getting married. About us getting married for ourselves. About us getting married, because a lot of cultures do it. Many cultures come here. Many cultures come here and they get married, but they don't go with no piece of paper or nothing. And also in other countries like Africa and continents and stuff like that, a lot of them get married, but they don't have no paperwork or anything like that. And so I wanted to know what is your opinion on us Aboriginal people getting married within our culture?
Okay. All right. Cool. First of all, if you don't want to get married, brothers and sisters, I don't care who you are. But first of all, before I answer that, let me say this last part. Now, when you said you can find 1, 2, or 3 tribes where the majority of people are black, I'm not talking about history. I'm not talking about ancient history. I'm talking about living black tribal people today. 2018.
Yes, we have some. I did a story on my channel with some that owns a casino, and they got in a little feud with Donald Trump. It was a little it was a little indigenous tribe, and they was all, you know, fully melanated people, and they looked like us, they looked like you, and they owned some casinos, and Donald Trump, they was getting some little argument or something. Donald Trump wanted to buy or own a casino or something like that. So we do that all the time. That's nothing. We do that all the time for fun. So we're not even worrying about that. That don't even mean nothing to us. So we just want to know, you know, your opinion on getting married in our culture. We're talking North American, the North American Negro, just us only.
Yes, sir, I got you.
Because we use the word Africa so much, but we don't understand Africa is huge. You know, when we ask you if you're African, you say you're African, but you never really give us an actual country. You see what I'm saying? And so because if you don't give us a country in our culture, we laugh at you. You see what I'm saying? In the Aboriginal culture, every time you say you African, we laugh a little because what it says is that you're a bootleg African and you're a lost African and you misplaced African and you don't know where you belong. So you attaching yourself to the whole continent trying to find someone to let you in. And so what we're trying to do, we want to accept you. Even if you're African, we want to accept you in our culture. You see what I'm saying? We want to accept you. You can be African all you want, but we want to accept you in the culture, and we have a mission for you. We have a task for you. You know what I'm saying? We have you as chief minister, you know, and we want to know your opinion on our culture. Just us, not all black people, not all melanated people all over the world, just us North American so-called Negroes, just us only. What do you think about us having, you know, ceremonial, ritual, or whatever type of marriages?
Okay, brother, I sure will. And that's a very good question. Now, let me say this to all of our brothers and sisters, and this can apply to anybody and everybody, but yet still, I understand where you're coming from. Talking to our people. Hold on, brother. No. I'm answering your question. I'm talking about us as a people, because us here in America, we got problems, and we got unique problems and unique issues. So that's a very fine question. Now, brother, and I'm talking to the brothers and the sisters, and I'm talking to the brothers mostly, okay? I'm talking to the brothers mostly.
Yes, sir.
Now, because see, women, girls, they tend to mature faster than men and boys, all right? They become women before boys become men. And so, and women and young girls are very serious about relationship. And in their hearts and in their minds, they are looking for a husband and a father to their children. The woman is made of pure love, brothers and sisters. The woman is a gift from God to man, and she was made of pure love, love for you, and love to propel you into the future so that you can continue yourself into the future through your children that she will bear for you. Now, so we're talking about women, we're talking about children, but what happens to you, brothers, is that you want to see women as a plaything and as just something to play with, all right? And you're not serious, and many of us end up being 20 and 30, 40 and 50 and never taking life serious and still seeing women and and our women as playthings. And that is our life partners who will project us and our progeny into the future, brothers and sisters.
Right.
So, but to you brothers, if you don't want to bring children into this world, if you want to be a player, if you want to be a playboy or whatever, if you want to just play, there are women out there who play with you. Number one, do not bring any children into this world if you out there playing. You need to wrap it up, sir. Children is serious, and every child on this planet, deserves to be raised by their mother and their father. But too many children are not being raised by their mother and their father because we got too many men who want to play. There are more men who want to play than women do because of our immaturity and us as men sitting up here thinking that it's cool to play women. Now, if you want to be a player, ain't nobody player hating on you, brother. But you need to wrap it up and don't bring no babies into this world, because every child deserves to be raised by their mom and their dad in their house. Yes, together. Yes, and when you bring children into this world, those children need to know that the two of you are committed and that you love each other, and you model love to your children so that they can take that same example and do it to their children, and we will be securing our future generations with the power of love, not being a goddamn player and a fool and destroying our community because you think it's cute having multiple baby mamas, or you think it's cute having multiple daddies for a child. Now, we make mistakes. Brother Black Jesus make mistakes. But brothers and sisters, at some point in time, we got to come to our senses, and we must teach our next generation and our daughters, regardless of if you made the mistake, if I made the mistake, we got to make up our minds. We got to, when we're going to straighten up individually, first of all. And I'm talking to the men first. You guys got to get your act together, and we got to hold each other accountable. And we got to stop joking, and we got to stop playing and snickering and having little dirty ass man talk about how we run it through our women. Okay. And how I did this, how I did that one. That is evil, brothers and sisters, and it is destructive.
Thank you, Black Jesus. Thank you, y'all. That was Black Jesus. That's an elder. So that was Chief Minister Black Jesus. Now, one of the reasons why I asked you that is because, you know, us, you know, the people in the Aboriginal community, we know what we got ahead, and a big part of our community is our future. Now, that's what ties us together. Most cultures and most people, their past is what ties them together, but our future ahead. And so there's going to be a time in the next, in the next year or two where we're going to be registering ourselves, and we're going to be registering ourselves, and we're going to have registered marriages. We also have dating sites that's coming out, and dating apps for registered people to get along, because the married people and the people with children are going to be the most fit for the land that we're requiring. Now, I'm asking you, Chief Minister, if you would join us in this task to help and be a part of getting these young kids and getting these young kids, or not kids, but these young men and these young men married, and you'll join our movement and become an Aboriginal.
Brother, well, let me say this to you. I will accept that, and I am an African or Aboriginal, African American. And so, yeah, brother, I will accept that responsibility, dear brother, in association with you all.
Okay. Now, there's a lot of perks that come with that as well, because but there's a lot of responsibility as well. So you will be responsible of keeping records. You also will be, you will be responsible for, you might even have to do some counseling, because the whole point is that right now that we have this system put in place, that if our women go to this system, it's automatically cutthroat for us. So one of the jobs that we're trying to do is that the woman don't have to go to the system. We have our own system that can work for her and that can work for me as well, for the best of the benefit. So that will be an ultimate job of the Chief Minister to have that the department, but you gotta tippy toe your way up there. So welcome, Black Jesus. We know, we understand where you come from, but us young people out here, we're trying to do it. We're trying to do it, and we know it's going to probably boil down to probably business owners and elderly people to step up to make it happen. But who knows? Maybe the young people might something might click. But we're definitely glad to have you here, and we have a lot of work to do ahead of us. We have a lot, and so we appreciate you. And let's go ahead and knock this information out, because there's a couple information that you guys don't understand and how you guys debunk yourself. So before you debunk yourself, let's go ahead and also I wanted to say that many of us, the people in our culture, we reject Satan's supremacy teachings. But many of our brothers and sisters think we're rejecting Africa, because the Satan supremacists told us. Can you turn that down, sir? Can you turn that? The Satan supremacists told us that we were African and that we came from Africa. Now, everybody know that they hid some information about us being here already and the great things we did here already. Now, that's not to say we was from Africa or they're from Africa, but we do know who told us that. And so the simple fact that they told us that is automatically make us want to reject that. So while many people think we're rejecting African, we actually rejecting Satan supremacy. And we want everybody to understand that. But for some reason, it seems like, these lot of people have this African-centric culture and they have everything riding on Africa. Now they have a new enemy, because an enemy makes them stronger. Anytime they can have an enemy about anytime they can have an enemy about a coon, a cracker, agent, a swirler. Anytime they can have an enemy, just watch the live streams. Every live stream there's an enemy in there. And so that enemy complex, it's a psychological thing that they put on our people. And so now when we reject the Satan supremacy teachings, they feel, oh, we have a new enemy on deck. And so that's going to make them stronger by making us an enemy. But what they don't understand is we're not rejecting Africa. We're not rejecting it. We're rejecting Satan's supremacy because they the one who told you was from Africa. So let's go ahead, Black Jesus. Let's go ahead and get it in. Go ahead and say, do what you got to do. What happened? Whoa. What is this? Oh, yeah. Let's go ahead and get it in, Black Jesus.
Okay. Can you still hear me, brother?
Yes, sir. Now, one of the things I wanted to teach you, Black Jesus, in an indigenous culture is that the names. Now, for example, how did Nigeria? Anytime you give a name to a country in Africa, like Nigeria, Liberia, those are a group of people or a tribe of people who named themselves. Now, nobody told them that they was hating on Africa or they was rejected being African. They just named themselves. And so for some reason, when we name ourselves, people say, hey man, you reject being African. But they didn't say that to the Nigerian and they didn't say that to the Liberian. And so this is why a lot of people who go against the philosophy, this is why a lot of them debunk themselves. Because they don't understand what they're saying every time they mention a name of a country. You see what I'm saying? They named themselves Liberia, and so we're naming ourselves. But we're anti-African, and they're the real deal, I guess. Do you understand that, Black Jesus?
Yeah, go ahead,
Minister.
Yeah,
right. And so, well, you already know that we were here. So I really don't have anything against argument to say, because you already know we was here. So I really don't have anything to say.
Well, I'm glad that we can come to an understanding on that, and maybe sometime in the near future, we can go a little bit deeper on the discrepancies and the differences about the Atlantic slave trade, and the amount of people who came over here in 300 years through the Atlantic slave trade. So we can have that discussion another time. But I'm glad that you and I were able to touch bases on that, and I'm glad that we had that conversation, that one-on-one conversation, because I never knew that you had this understanding or that belief until we had that conversation. So I just thank God for that, dear brother, and we can build on that, as everybody like to say. We can build on that, okay? And so let me say this to all the brothers who are listening. You guys can start with your family. I'm talking to the men. I'm talking to the men, all right? Aboriginal, African men, whatever you call yourself, we have got to form accountability groups within our families, within our communities, and within our cities and state. And we need to hold ourselves accountable and report to each other on a monthly basis, and reaffirm that how we're supposed to be men and how we're supposed to treat our children and our wives and our women. We need to affirm the things that are right and not affirm the things that are wrong and harmful and destructive to us as a people. And we will never be a people if the family unit is destroyed. If the family unit is destroyed, and yes, a single mother can raise a child. My mother raised us as a result of divorce. My father was a Vietnam veteran, and the war caused a lot of veterans came back and from Vietnam, and a lot of divorces resulted from that. A lot of those men and women came back here and didn't come back here the same. But brothers and sisters, we've got to be about our families. We've got to be about our children. And to you brothers who have made the mistake to have 2 and 3 and 4 multiple baby mamas, don't go run off and find another woman to impregnate and maybe marry or not marry. Go clean up your mess, brother. Go clean up your mess and choose one of those 2 or 3 or 4 women to be your wife and raise all those kids. Don't go running around trying to find another woman and messing up our community by leaving these mothers in their homes without fathers and husbands for these children to raise themselves. You cannot raise all of your children in 2, 3, and 4 different homes, brothers. You cannot protect your children in 2, 3, and 4 different homes. We need to understand the consequences of our bodies and the consequences of our actions. So again, dear brother and sister, if you want to be a player, take all the necessary actions to make sure that you don't bring any children into this world, because every child deserves to be raised by their mother and father who are married in their house. Brothers and sisters, we must do this to heal our people and bring back a foundation that we can continue to build on. If we continue to shuck our responsibility as men and hold each other accountable. And when you hear another brother talking nonsense and destructive talk about women, it is your responsibility. It is your responsibility as a real man to shut that down and shut it up and say, brothers, we got to stop talking like this, man. And if they don't want to stop talking like that, you need to remove yourself from that conversation, and you need to remove yourself from brothers like that and make sure that you start a support group and a group, an accountability group, men's group, and start holding yourselves accountable to one another and let your sons see you be the man that you're supposed to be to our women. Thank you, brother, for this opportunity.
Okay, y'all heard it. That's one down. You know, we got a lot to do, and it's fun, it's frustrating, it's scary, and it's exciting. And you know, I'm ready, Chief Minister ready. We all ready. Now, we know that we all stuck in the matrix. We all messed up. Please don't think Ty Data got some perfect life. I cherry pick nice things out of my life and certain things out of my life, and I would share them. So, and so that's how you know me, and that's what I am to you. But believe me, I'll be doing some cherry picking, because I don't want to sit here and have a soap opera. This is I don't even know what to call it. It's a weird ass news show. And so Black Jesus, Chief Minister is going to be one of his jobs to get you guys married. He's going to keep some of the records. He's going to have his own departments, and it basically, it's a whole task out there to make sure you guys get registered. Now, a lot of people come over here, especially a lot of people in foreign countries. They get married all the time. Many of them don't go down to the Secretary of State office or go down to the city hall and have a stamp and do all that. Many of them other countries don't do that. We're one of the only countries that do. And also, when many of the foreigners come here, they don't go through all that. They have a little ceremony. Boom. They're married in their culture. So it's not something new. It might be something new for you or something new for them, but it's not nothing new. And so, you know, as an Aboriginal person, or you know, in a culture, that's something that we're gonna have to adopt and we're gonna have to do. Now we understand this. It sounds a little weird coming from a guy that owns a damn raunchy ass phone store and the guy who got a radio station. It sounds a little weird, but keep in mind, when all these organizations first came on the scene, they was weird too. The Hebrew Israelites was weird too. The Muslims was weird too. They all was weird when they first jumped on the scenes, but look at them now, they flourishing. And you got people decades later, you know, proud of the little group of weird people from a long time ago. And so and that is no knock or nothing. Please don't twist me up, man. Come on, I'm a goofy dude. Don't twist my words up. And so so I wanna thank Chief Minister, and you know, that's one down. Who's next? Let's go ahead and get this culture together, because we messed up. We gotta make sure that they not, you know. So Black
exactly.
Chief, you wanna say something else before I go ahead and fade out?
That's fine, brother. I just want to say to everyone, thank you all for this opportunity. And yeah, me and Lex had some bad words last time we was on. I want to thank brother Lex and Vortex Media for this opportunity on Vortex Media too. Brother Lex and I go back not a long way, but we go back for a little while. And brother Lex, I want to let you know, dear brother, I love you. But I'm still gonna spank your behind, boy, when you talking crazy. Still gonna always spank your behind, boy. But again, from Houston, Texas, I want to say again, I love you all, appreciate it, and looking forward to the next opportunity to communicate with Brother Ty Data and the Aboriginal African American family. And my branch of the indigenous tribe is Choctaw. And I know that for a fact. My grandmother's grandmother was Choctaw, brother. I got the picture and everything. She looked just like an Indian, brother. But anyway. So I'm in the mix, brother. We you know, there's a lot of people who say that they got Indian in them and they don't. But brother Black Jesus Minister, no, he do. But so I'm proud of both of them. I'm proud of the Aboriginal Indian, and I'm proud of the African American. And I can't run away from the white folks' blood in me too. It's there, but brothers and sisters, again, thank all of you for this opportunity. And brother Ty Data, thank you again, brother.
Peace.
Watch it take over. All this shit that you see, we gon' make our way to the top. You can trust now, trust and believe. Watch us take over. Yeah, all this shit that you see, we gon' make our way to the top. You can trust, yes, trust and believe. Watch us take over. Yeah, my daddy drumming differently. We find the wins in all the games that they try to play. We held our ground, tell our fans through the poverty. While leaders down, knowledge drown, but we find a way. Life was cold, but we made it hot. No matter how it goes, we gon' make it pop. Black is like a gold or a precious rock. So message to my foes, we gon' never stop. Cause all of us ain't ignorant. Learn to light, see the code, you'll see the difference. Cause all of us ain't ignorant. Learn to life, see the code, you'll see the difference. Watch us take over. All this shit that you see, we gon' make our way to the top. You can trust now, trust and believe. Watch us take over. All this shit that you see, we gon' make our way to the top. You can trust now, trust and believe. Watch us take over.
From the land of the street lights where kids get kidnapped. Black man murdered through a white man's dispatch. But my aggression overcomes the oppression, and the fact that I can speak is my deadliest weapon. Look, this for the ghetto shit that only we see. They take us out the streets and stash us in the OPCC. Now these shell tops slowly walk the cell block. I swear this shit can get funkier than stale socks. So I learned to be humble in this jungle. Keep some pads in my step, cause if I stumble, shit can crumble. The cops keep killing all our soldiers, trying to control the population, cause they know one day we
Watch us take over. All this shit that you see, we gon' make our way to the top. You can trust now, trust and believe. Watch us take over. All this shit that you see, we gon' make our way to the top. You can trust now, trust and believe. Watch us take over. All this shit that you see, we gon' make our way to the top. You can trust now, trust and believe. Watch us take over. All this shit that you see, We gon' make our way to the top. You can trust now, trust and believe. Watch us take over.